Hey, Ed.
Hey, Jean-Luc.
Hey, it's been a while since we've done one of these.
It has been. It's been several weeks.
Yeah.
But Dragon Age has
Yes!
brought us back together.
God, yeah.
Thank God for Dragon Age. I love you so much.
This was sort of the last big game I've been looking forward to this year.
Agreed. I can't buy it. I can't get myself to buy it unless I beat Dragon Age 2. And I can't buy Dragon Age 2 until I replay and rebeat Dragon Age 1 because all of my decisions were wrong.
Okay.
The kind of like the character. I'm going Elven Mage because I want everyone to hate me. I want to be the most pro-mage, pro-elf, down with the Chantry as physically possible.
Interesting.
And I just want to go through and make those decisions a little bit tighter.
So, but you want to actually like play through. You have no interest in like using like the keep or
I know
anything?
you can use the keep and stuff. I know you're like the save doesn't go through, but like I want to see how, because in my game, my big issue with Dragon Age 1 was a lot of the decisions that were kind of made. They don't have the clearest cause and effect in terms of the dialogue option. It was like, do you kill the mages in the circle? And I was like, no, I want to save them because I'm pro mage. And then I clicked a dialogue option. And I was like, okay, we're gonna murder everyone. I'm like, no, please, no, not the mages. It wasn't very clear. There were several major decisions that I don't want to say I fucked up because I will defend myself to say that the trigger dialogue in Dragon Age 1 isn't very clear in some decisions.
I don't know. I never had that problem. But all right. So yeah, for those who don't know, this is the third Dragon Age game. It's not like the end of the trilogy. It's not Mass Effect style. This is just like, hey, it's the third game. It's another chapter, which I like about Dragon Age. This takes place. I'm not entirely sure how long it is after Dragon Age 2. It is supposed to be 10 years after the first game.
Oh wow!
And I think 2 ended like 7 years after the first game, so it's been like 3 years or so, I want to say. This is so spoilers for the end of the second game. The second game ended with this war breaking out between the mages and the Templars. The mages rebelled and dissolved the circles, and the Templars broke away from the Chantry and have been fighting the mages. And we are starting. This is actually the very beginning of the game on the screen right here. Is the mages and the Templars are both heading to this conclave here in sort of a last-ditch effort to try and resolve peace that the Chantry's put together. And so we're going to start up a brand new game to show off a little bit of the character creation so we can see how this peace talks are going to play out.
I'm very excited that this is kind of,
That is how they play out.
not well.
No.
I'm very excited that this is, that's kind of the plot point that this game is based on, because it's a plot point in Dragon Age 1, the
Mage Templar?
The Templars and the Mages, but it's the Darkspawn are the threat. That's kind of like the overarching plot in Dragon Age 1.
It isn't the only plot in this game.
No.
Like, this game has a lot of stuff in it.
I'm
And
sure.
I'm only 10 hours in, and people say, like, the average playthrough will take like 85 hours. And I can tell just by playing, I'm like, I am not far at all.
But out of all the story threads in Dragon Age 1, the Templar Mage conflict was the one I was definitely the biggest into.
And they definitely, like, they had a focus on it in 1 as well. Like, they've been setting this up for a while.
I'm very happy.
All right, so we can pick our race. You got, unlike 1, or like 1, you can have multiple races. Yes. 2, you can only play as human. This time they've added a Quinari as an option. I like these cards. This whole game has these like hand-drawn tarot cards for everything.
Well, I would say that
it looks really nice.
Since 2, the art direction of Dragon Age has really gotten. It's really knows what it wants to be. I mean, Dragon Age 1.
About that.
Doesn't look. It looks fine for a game of that era, but it just kind of has a generic.
I agree.
BioWare, like, this is a fantasy game.
It's a fantasy game.
After 2, no matter how you feel about 2, the direction they want the world to look and how everyone's designed really, I think, really is cemented.
And 3,
really digging the look.
Yeah, 3 kind of continues Dragon Age 2's look. Not on a graphical level, like it looks a lot better, but certainly in like the art direction, I think it continues that, which I like as well. What do you want to play? We'll pick something just kind of to mess off. You want to be like a dwarf, maybe an elf?
Go human, because I'm personally gonna go elf. So I want to
Male or
not have that.
female?
Let's do a female.
Yeah, I like that. They change the cards for everything else. It's cool. Female human.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna play a female human. Then you can be a
Interesting.
rogue,
So
a dual wielder, an archer, two-handed, weapon, shield, and mage. And yes, you are locked into that from the get-go.
That's interesting, because
as
I know that
opposed
in the
to-
first one, at least, they kind of do the warrior, mage, rogue.
And you could
but-
kind of pick if you wanted to be like archer, but in those games you still basically had to lock yourself into one.
Well, yes,
but it gave you like a little bit of leeway at the beginning to kind of pick one. This one's just sort of like, hey, which one do you want to be? And
Interesting.
That's really not that big of a deal. I feel like you very quickly know what you want to play as anyway.
Now, does picking your... I know that obviously probably picking your race will change the beginning. Does picking your class change it as well?
I don't think so. No,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure a lot of dialogue is different. When we're gonna get into my character, who's a Quinari mage.
So you can't pick or you can't see me, but I'm doing air quotations.
Yeah.
An origin, which was like, do you want to play a city elf?
I mean,
or,
no, you can't pick an origin. They have origins to them. So like, my Quinari is a Tal the Shoth, which is means that they are a Quinari who's not actually part of the Quinari culture. They like their parents sort of abandon it, and they talk about that a lot. And but because you're in the human world, like people immediately hate you. Like,
of course.
We'll get into it. Some bad shit happens, and you're kind of blamed for it. And
let's go.
people distrust you because I was like, well, you're a mage, so we don't trust you, and you're a Quinari, so we really don't trust you. And I'm like, wow, I have checked all the boxes.
Yeah, that's what I did with elf. I'm like, everyone's like, oh, an elf. I'm like, what do you say about an elf?
That's actually why I picked Quinari mage,
Yeah.
because I'm like, I want to check all the boxes of mistrust.
Yeah, I want everyone to hate me and me to be the biggest dick about
Let's
it.
just be an archer.
Yeah,
Let's-
for
we're
funsies.
not even going to really play this character. So
Oh, is
whatever.
this the difficulty?
Difficulty, you got normal, casual, hard, and nightmare. I'm playing on normal. It's been okay. It hasn't
Yeah.
been that hard, honestly.
I know that I remember Dragon Age 1 being pretty difficult of a game.
It's
even on normal.
not as difficult as Dragon Age 1 on normal. I thought Dragon Age 2 was definitely too easy. It feels a little bit harder than that. I bet if you really want to like if you're like used to this experience, I would try it on hard maybe. Is my suggestion. See how that goes. And then it says, okay, default world state. To import a save, log into Dragon Age Keep. So it won't let me do this right now because it weirdly said oh, your connection is lost. But what it is, you can go to Dragon Age Keep, which is this thing, this browser-based system, and you can set all your choices for 1 and 2 there, and then you import that in. And that's what I did with my other character.
So unlike when I played Mass Effect on the Xbox, it doesn't just register a save. You have to like.
Yeah, and that save thing is based through the online system, so it'll work on your PC, your old consoles. It'll work on Xbox One and PS4. So people who have it on that have a way to actually have their choices imported over.
How I mean, you obviously did it. How long did it take you to kind of go through all the decisions of 1 and 2?
I had just replayed 1 and 2 this year, so I kind of knew what I wanted. It didn't I still had to put them in manually, but I knew what choice I want to make. It probably took me about 30 minutes to do the whole thing and then kind of make sure I had what I wanted. It's a really well done system. Like, it looks really nice. It has
I
good
hear good
visuals.
things. I was afraid that I'd be sitting there going like, oh, son of a bitch, what did I pick? What did I pick here? What's the fallout of this decision?
You're definitely gonna have a couple because there's some stuff you're like, I don't even remember that. That's a random shit. So here's the game. This game looks real nice. I really like the way that this game looks. We're gonna pick. Yeah, so you got a default head, so you can kind of mess with. We're gonna just pick the default one.
I'm sorry. Can you go back?
Oh yeah.
Can you go down a little? Of course. Okay. That's yep. Half-shaped head.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yep.
yeah. Oh no, of course.
I hope.
I think we just hit so we're gonna hit customize. I almost actually accepted. General, kind of pick your basic face shape, your skin tone, all that stuff. You can get real hardcore into this, and you can also ignore it too. If you don't want to mess with this, you can kind of just pick a random default.
Does your character have a voice?
Yes. So your character has 2 voices. You have an
How
American.
much is this going to cost me exactly?
Got that voice.
How much is this going to cost me exactly?
So you got an American voice and a British voice.
I'm going to go for the American voice just so I can have a blatantly American accent in my fantasy RPG.
Well, they actually do that in the Dragon Age universe.
What's the place from 2?
The place from 2 is the Free Marches.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. That's kind of like a no man's land. No one really runs it. Ferelden is sort of the main area from the first game.
Yeah.
And that's actually a huge chunk of this game is also in Ferelden. And they kind of have the more British, almost American kind of accent.
Yeah.
And then the land next to them, which is also in this game, is Orlais, and they're all French.
Yes.
Everything you've heard?
But yeah, you get your 2 voices, and there's also 2 for the male as well, which is really cool. So we're gonna stick with the British one because my Quinari is actually female American, so you hear a little difference. You can change your hair color. There's all these hairstyles. It's ridiculous. I saw somebody make a this kind of was floating around on the internet. Somebody made an incredibly accurate Daenerys Targaryen.
I can definitely see that happening with just like that hairstyle.
It looked real good. I was like, wow. All right, we're just gonna go with some hair.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I don't want to get too into. Yeah, sure, we'll go with this one. You can go to eye color. It gets real nuts. So this is like your general. Like if you just want to mess with some sliders, but then you can get to like, all right, let's change like the ear size.
What?
I like the way they do this. They have this
I'm a
box
huge fan of
system.
this.
It's way easier than having the
hate-
slider.
I hate this. I mean,
I'm not entirely sure how this system, like, why moving it here does that or whatever. But I'm like,
I
it's
feel
really
like it's
easy
a
to
bit-
just
yeah.
move and be like,
it's a better
I like that one.
visual
Sure, let's go with that.
representation
You know,
of what your decision is like directly changing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna be a lot more smooth.
so you can mess with like the cheekbones and everything, and it's really easy to do. And I like that. If you go to like the eye color, I want to like, it gets like Photoshop color wheel level. You can change the inner iris.
What?
It's pretty intense. I really dig it. Of course, you got your sweet tattoos and scars, because, you know, why not? Gotta get ourselves some sick tattoos going. Okay. So that's that is the character creator. I really dig it.
That is a fantastic character creator.
So we're going to just show off a little bit at the beginning of the game to give you some context. So this is right after that explosion happened. Pretty good. It's good music.
The whole series is just great.
So kind of what happened was when that explosion happened, you somehow got pulled into the Fade,
Yeah, which is their spirit world,
which
kind
is
of.
their spirit world, where all the demons live, and
where humans go to dream.
then you come out, and then loading times aren't that bad. They've been okay, and they're not that often either. Like once you get into like kind of the open world stuff, and until you like fast travel and move to a different land, there's no like loading time as you're just like walking or anything, which is nice.
How's the overall performance, would you say?
Pretty good. I don't have it on max settings for me because I have like a high-res monitor, so that kind of I have to bump it down a bit. It has been running smooth. The cutscenes sometimes feel a little janky,
That's why I was definitely.
and they're kind of, you can kind of see it here. Apparently, that's just an issue.
Okay.
A lot of people have been talking about that, and they're trying to patch that because there's no reason it should be janky for me. When it goes to
Yeah.
actual gameplay, it's fine, and so hopefully they'll get that fixed.
Tell me why we shouldn't kill you now.
So people who have actually played Dragon
conclave
Age
is
would maybe
destroyed.
recognize that is
Everyone who
Cassandra,
attended
who
is
is
dead,
in Dragon Age 2. The whole
except
premise is
for
that
you.
she is having Varric tell the story of Dragon Age 2 to her because she's trying to find Hawk. So that's her.
I noticed that. I noticed this earlier when we were kind of going through your other save. That it looks like they've changed the dialogue from the second game which I hated. This seems a little more open, unlike 2's. Like 2 had like a good, evil, funny.
Yeah.
kind of
2
system.
had the three had the three.
Each one was clearly labeled in a
had
way
a-
you couldn't miss.
2 had this weird system where it was like personality based, where like, do
Yeah.
you want Hawk to be Paragon, which was boring?
Yeah.
Do you want them to be evil, which is like weirdly evil, or do you want them to be humorous, which is the only way to play that game in my
Yes.
opinion? And I enjoy that humorous, but it very much broke it down.
Yeah.
This game does not. It still has the wheel, and people
Yeah.
have definitely had complaints over the years about how the wheel kind of problems with the wheel. But I think this wheel does a much better job,
Yeah.
not feeling so like arbitrary. Like
It
that's the
felt
good one,
structured.
and that's the bad one.
Because what I love about Dragon Age 1 is how fluid
What do you mean
and
everyone's dead?
I'm trying to find a good word to
Explain
describe.
this.
Just I didn't feel boxed into like Paragon, Renegade. Like it felt your decisions in
What
that
do you
game
mean
felt
you can't?
what
I
one
don't
makes
know
sense
what
to your
that is
character,
or
how
how it got
what
there.
one
You're
makes sense
lying.
in the context of the story, not like, oh, that's the blue
We
option,
need
the other
her,
blue option.
Cassandra.
and
Next blue
so
option.
far, this game definitely feels like it
Yeah.
continues that.
It's like like spoiler alert for a game that came out years and years ago, Dragon Age
And
1.
and one thing I like they added in this one is they had a little bit of this in 2, but they went farther.
Yeah.
And I wish Mass Effect would take this. Is in the middle, it actually gives you a sort of symbol that kind of gives you an idea for what it means. So like, you know, in Mass Effect, a lot of people have the problem where it's like, if I was to say all these people, it's like, I don't know what that means. Like, I could
Yeah.
be like, all those people deserve to die, bitch. Like, you know, you'd
Yeah,
be like,
there's a-
oh, I didn't mean to be
or
a
the
dick.
classic LA noir, like I have doubt of her story, and then like you think that you're gonna go like, I don't believe you, but instead your character goes like, tell me the truth or I'll throw your ass in jail, you bitch.
You're like,
whoa,
whoa.
whoa.
So
Don't.
this is like, oh, she's really sad about
That's-
it.
I really like that.
This is like, she's more like, I don't know, kind of like defiant, like what's gonna happen. This is like, I'm real confused, and this is like really aggressive, like, hey, you should let me go.
That's how I'm gonna play. I'm just really confused all the time. I'm at the end of the game, like I still know what I'm doing. I just want to go home.
Do you remember what happened?
And that's Liliana
How this
from
began.
the first game as well.
I remember
Here's the thing, because I was so anti-Chantry in the
just
first
didn't
game,
know.
I don't think I ever talked to her. That's a mistake I'm gonna rectify in this
She
one.
reached
I might
out
tell
to
her
me,
that her beliefs are
but then-
stupid and I hate her, but
You don't have to
Go
worry about
to
that
the
because
forward camp,
she,
Liliana.
I know nothing about
in,
her.
in,
So
in,
if
the,
I'm
in the
like,
10 years between the first game and this game, her opinions on the Chantry have changed a
okay,
bit. So
I know literally nothing about that character. She was in my party since the beginning. Never spoke to her.
I liked Liliana. I don't know, she was,
My group was always
Will be
my
easier
dog.
to show.
What's the wizard chick's name? I cannot remember. her.
Morgan.
Morgan and
best
the,
character.
And
One of
yes,
the best.
and the rock dude,
Shale, yes.
Shale.
Also a girl.
Yes, I keep forgetting that plot point. I really need to take replaying Dragon Age 1 seriously because
Okay,
obviously my memory is
so,
gone.
big premise, giant hole in the sky.
I love this.
Everyone
plot
thinks
point.
it's your fault.
Yes.
And that hole basically
Call it the
is,
breach.
it's called the Breach, and it
It's
just
a massive rift into the world.
goes
of
right into the
demons
fade,
that
and all the
Yes.
demons just come
larger
pouring
with
out.
each
That's
I'm actually
fantastic.
gonna start skipping some of this because I want to get to
Each time
Actual-
the breach-
the game.
Maybe the key to stopping them.
Yeah, I'll help. Why not? So we're gonna just kind of skip around. So everybody, you. Oop. Okay, so we're gonna skip ahead. Just kind of wanted to show off that beginning. We're gonna switch characters here to my character.
Your mage.
My mage. No, I picked the wrong one. Yeah, that's why. Here we go. We're gonna go to the Frostback Mountains. So this is something I didn't realize until like halfway through this, the prologue, that you're in the Frostback Mountains, and I'm like, I recognize that area. I think that's from the first game, the Frostback Mountains. Like that is, it's the mountain area between Ferelden and Orlais.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, they're like, oh, when the Temple of Sacred Ashes blew up, I'm like, I know that place. The temple that blows up at the beginning is the Temple of Sacred Ashes, which
Where
is
you
the
fought-
major plot point of the first game.
That's cool.
And I was like, oh, that's actually really cool. This game does a cool job where it actually, because you're it's in Ferelden a lot. You're going back to a lot of locations.
That's nice.
From the first games, but in not a way that feels like
Backtracky.
hey, remember this place? And you're like, what? Like, it makes sense.
There are major points of interest in this country, and obviously you would go there.
It makes sense that they would want to convene at the Temple of Sacred Ashes.
Yes.
This is very holy, like, holy ground. There shouldn't be any fighting there. Like, so we're in Haven, which is the town from Dragon Age 1 as well. It's the town where that cult people all were. If you remember, the people who worship the dragon and thought it was like a reincarnation of Andraste.
I'm remembering that a little bit.
You don't have to remember that. Okay, so
It's nice if you do.
this game definitely does not hold your hand on its lore,
Which is a major reason why I'm replaying the first
but at the same time, I don't feel like you are absolutely like required to remember all the lore. Like, you don't have to remember that, hey, Haven used to be a town run by a cult. But as somebody who does, it's kind of funny. You're like, oh wow, that's, and then the cult. They ran the cult off because the warden murdered them all, and now this is the base. This is the Inquisition's base. You are the Inquisition. You form it after the breach happens. You have this magical mark on your hand. You're the only one who can close the breach. No one knows why. So your goal is to basically like close the breach.
Now, as an Inquisitor,
Yes.
what's your stance in the conflict between?
So that is kind of the big. I'm only 10 hours in.
Okay.
And I've only really reached the first major story beat. And the first major story beat is we need to get help to close a breach. We got to pick either the mages or the Templars.
Okay, so the Inquisitors are not. I just from what I heard in like, the early development of the game, I kind of just assumed by the name Inquisitor, I would be hunting the mages. Like,
No,
I'm very happy that that's not
the
right.
Inquisition was part of was something that was formed by the Chantry, and you decided to form the Inquisition after the breach happened, and the Chantry wasn't happy about that. So the reason you formed it is the divine Justinia V, who is their pope. She died in that breach, like in the explosion.
Yeah.
The pope was killed along with all of the pope's like main people. Like basically every single important figure in their entire religion just was murdered in that
Good.
explosion. Well, it's also chaos now.
Yes.
Like it's gone from like maybe the Chantry can resolve this conflict to like, oh god, everyone's dead and now they're blaming each other more. This is never going to get solved. So you decide to form the Inquisition. The Chantry didn't like that, so they've disavowed you. So you're not even part of the Chantry anymore. You're like a rogue faction that's like, fuck all y'all.
Okay, I like that.
You got characters you can talk to. Cassandra, she's a
Yes.
party member.
That's enough.
I don't really care.
Another time, then.
Yeah, I've actually like
You want to
exhausted
do me a quick
most of the
favor?
dialogue. Yes.
Do you just want to do that like that spell that you were doing for me earlier?
Oh.
That combat.
Yes.
I'm really happy. I haven't really seen much about this game
Mm-hmm.
other than a couple of playthroughs. But what I was really nervous about was playing as a mage, especially in Dragon Age 1.
Yeah.
It's kind of while I prefer it from a plot perspective, the combat's not.
It's
the
really slow.
best. You're in the background, you're just shooting stuff.
It has the faster pace of 2, where 2 is like mages they're doing
Yeah.
things and they're shooting stuff.
You can't see my hands, but they're going forward a lot.
The
Yeah.
combat definitely feels like an in between.
That makes me feel better about my decision to go for it.
So here we got the forge. I haven't fully messed with all this, but crafting is like a really big part of this game in this one. So you can like modify your armor, craft it. I haven't gotten that into it mostly just because I don't have that much good shit yet. But that is something you can mess with. I wish I could show off more. I'm just not like, I don't know what I'm doing. There's a lot of systems in this game.
Come on, man, you had one job.
I know,
Why
right?
don't you know the crafting system?
So let's pop out. We're gonna go explore a little bit.
Kill something.
This is the world map. I'm unlocking, there's more areas to unlock as we go. We have Haven, which is our base. We have the Hinterlands, which is the first area of the game. The Follow Mare, Storm Coast. We're gonna pop in the Storm Coast because it's a little bit different. And then later we're gonna pop in the Hinterlands because it's where the main quest is. A thing I would tell you right away about this game if you're gonna play it is if you're like me, you're going to want to do all the quests, like the second they pop up. Don't do that. Here, one sec. We have all these characters. So don't do that because I found myself running around the Hinterlands for 10 hours doing like meaningless side quests with my 3 starting party members, and I'm like, man, what is like? This is just weird. Don't do that. because you can't do all the side quests because the areas of this game are actually level locked. So there are certain areas that you can't access right away because it's like, hey, those are level 12s and you're 6. They're gonna get your ass handed to you. Like I was like, I'm gonna go in that area, and then a dragon just showed up and just set everyone on fire, and I died. I said, okay, fuck it, I can't go there. So there's certain areas you can't explore, like the Follow Mare. I tried to go here. Everything here is level 12, so I cannot touch that place yet.
Okay.
They let you go there almost right away, but it's like, you know,
But you're not supposed to.
you're not supposed to go there. What I would do instead is maybe do like a little bit of that. The second you get bored, just start doing some of the main quest. Do it until you get to Val Royeaux, because the second you get to Val Royeaux, it starts opening up, the quests get more interesting, and you actually start getting more party members. So like I said, I only had the starting game's party members for like 10 hours, and I just suddenly got like 4 party members once I went to Val Royeaux. So you want to do that. We're gonna head here.
Have you experienced how often are you hearing party banter?
All the time.
Okay,
and
good.
It's great. And the biggest problem I have with Dragon Age is I get why you only have 3 other party members from a battle perspective. I want them all because I want to hear all the dialogue. And I like all these characters so far. The only real returning party member is Varric, who's great. You got Cassandra, who's a returning character, but she was never a party member in the other games. Sarah, she's this city elf, very cheeky. Blackwall, I just got, he is a Grey Warden, who, so all the Grey Wardens have disappeared, no one knows why, and he doesn't know why either. He was kind of on his own recruiting, and then you're like, hey, why did the Grey Wardens disappear? He's like, I
wish I knew.
I'm confused too. Hey, I should join you, because you probably need help. Viviana, she's this Orlesian mage, very like high society noble, and she wants to help. Solus, he's this apostate elf mage who helps at the beginning. And Iron Bull, who is this massive Quinari who also is a very well-spoken, intelligent person. He's probably my favorite new character. He's fantastic. So I'm going to throw him in. Again, you want to have a well-balanced party, kind of your typical style. I got Varric, my range. I'm a mage. I'm a Mac. Mac,
I'm
PC.
a Mac. I'm a rogue.
I got Iron Bull, who's kind of my heavy hitter. So I could either grab Blackwall or Cassandra, who could be more of my tanks, or I can maybe instead grab another mage. Maybe I don't have a dagger guy yet, but once I get them, I want to have a rogue dagger on mine because they can be my real heavy hitter. Who do you want to grab? Who do you want to see?
I would bring I'd bring a rogue.
You want to bring a rogue?
Just for funsies.
Well, I already got a rogue.
Oh, you
I got
do?
Varric.
I forgot
And I
you
don't
got
want to
Varric.
bring Varric, and I don't want to bring Sarah because they're both
Yeah, never mind.
ranged.
I take it back. Bring Blackwall.
Okay, we'll bring Blackwall. He's cool. And I just Blackwall, Iron Bull, Viviana, and Sarah. I just got, so I have very little dialogue with them. But I already love Iron Bull to death. I'm already like, he's already great. Voiced by Freddie Prinze Jr.
Really?
Which I had no idea.
Good.
I looked because
Good.
I was
I'm
like,
really
who is
glad.
his voice actor? I looked it up. I'm like, holy shit, that's Freddie Prinze Jr. That's awesome.
I'm glad he's doing something.
Freddie Prinze Jr. is a massive nerd.
He
He
is.
loves
I
video
love
games,
it.
and his great. His enthusiasm.
Can I just say that I'm really happy that he and Sarah Michelle Gellar are still married? Oh god, the second they get divorced, love is dead. Love is
don't say
dead.
that. I don't want that to happen.
No, neither do I. Neither do
The
I.
world doesn't
Jonathan.
want that to happen.
You're the only thing keeping my faith in love.
With faith in humanity so low.
I would just end it right there. Be like, well,
Okay, all right. So here's the game. We are in the Storm Coast. Also, reason to get out of the Hinterlands. Hinterlands is very typical fantasy woods. Get out of the Hinterlands just to see new shit. This is Storm Coast. It's near Amaranthian, which is the city from Dragon Age Awakening. You're not actually at Amaranthian, but it's kind of that area. So it's cool where it's like, oh, I'm kind of visiting that area. Here we are. Like, damn, this game just looks nice. Like, the water, really good. Areas are vary in size. Like, I think the Hinterlands is one of the bigger areas. It's not the biggest, they said, though. This area felt pretty small. Like I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it still goes. Apparently, there's still more shit over there, and I was like, jeez.
But would you say the overall the exploration's a little like very open?
Yeah, it's not.
If I remember correctly, it's been a while. I'm just in the beginning of Dragon Age Origins in my playthrough. But if I remember correctly, it's pretty like when you go to a different area, it's kind of like a path. It's not much to really see and explore.
And I wouldn't call this open in the way like a Skyrim is open.
Well, of course, yeah.
And more in like you have these areas that you go to, and once you go to them, the area itself is pretty open. So more of like a Witcher almost, I'd say maybe.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so we're playing the PC version. It has full controller support on the PC as well. And my problem, I have some issues with the controls on the PC. They're okay, but they feel a bit PC second, which is weird. Especially because the entire time they've been showing off this game, they've been showing it on the PC. Like, look how good it looks on the PC. This is built on PC first. But they always showed it with the controller. Yeah. And I was always like, the PC controls are okay. Let's get into some combat. If I can find any, just to show that off.
I find someone to murder.
One good thing.
How do you manage that while staring up at everyone's ass the whole
Well,
time?
the reason why I brought up how often you hear dialogue is apparently there's a glitch that some people are just not hearing their characters banter.
Oh, really?
You're supposed to hear banter every 10 to 20 minutes.
I've had that happen. I have not had that issue.
Apparently, it's relatively common for a lot of players just not hear anything and to think that that's kind of normal. But it's not. That's my PSA. If you're not hearing banter, your game is glitched.
I've been hearing banter.
Good.
Plenty of banter. A lot of good dialogue. We're gonna go around because I'm getting myself lost here. Dun, dun, dun. So what was I saying? PC controls. Right. So typical to Dragon Age 1 and 2. God, I'm just not finding anybody. I'm so sorry. I was all like, all right, I'm gonna go to the area, we're gonna find some dudes, we're gonna murder them. I'm just not finding anybody. You know what? There'll be dudes in this cave. There should be some.
There's always dudes in a cave.
There's gonna be some spiders in that cave, I guarantee it. If there's not, I'll eat my sock.
Okay.
That'll happen.
We'll do it on the live feed. Right here, this audio though.
You're cut to be eating my sock.
You can jump now.
Oh yeah, you can jump. Yeah, fun fact, you can jump now. I forgot that you couldn't do that before. You kind of need it really for like traversing the terrain.
Yeah, it looks like it.
You don't really need it in like combat or anything. It's not like you're not like dodge rolling or anything like that.
No jump attacks.
There we go, spiders. Okay. So it's sort of it's very typical Dragon Age. You got your 4 parties. You can kind of go on your own, and your other party members can. The AI is decent enough; they can kind of handle themselves. You can switch at any time. Oh, Varric apparently got caught in the geometry.
Just being a doofus.
Iron Bull. Let's switch in a bit. But that has happened to me occasionally, especially in this area. Not as much in the others.
But they now have attack abilities, right?
Yes. So that'll actually be bad to show in here. It's hard to work in the cave. So my initial biggest problem with the PC version is that in the other game, you would click on an enemy and you would auto-attack them.
Yes.
You cannot do that in this one. You have to hold down either the left mouse button or R. And I find that incredibly frustrating. I get why they do that from a controller standpoint, and it makes sense that I messed with the controller. But on the mouse and keyboard, like the idea of like, I need to hold down this button to constantly attacking and thinking about my party placement and hitting my buttons, it's way too much to deal with. Which is why I like the auto, because you're like, I'm gonna have them auto attack and then I can focus on everything else. So I find myself actually a lot of time like forgetting to auto attack. And then I'm like not doing as much damage as I should be. So immediately that's just kind of a pain. And then so you can actually fix that if you go to, oh my god, what the heck. if you go to the tactical view, your characters will auto attack. The problem is that the tactical view kind of has its own problems. I think the camera controls are a bit
Yeah, they feel wonky.
They
just
leave.
from like what I'm
Yeah,
seeing here.
this is an even worse example because we're in a cave and they're really bad indoors, which I guess is they're bad indoors. They shouldn't be, right?
Yeah.
So the camera controls aren't exactly what you want, but also it doesn't let you zoom out that far. Even it's really zoomed in now because we're inside, but outside even, you only get like half of the battlefield, and you really want like almost Divinity level, like you can see everything.
In
right?
Dragon Age Origins, you can zoom right out. And
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have like an overview of everything.
So the camera just isn't far out enough, and because of that, it's just hard to kind of play it tactically because you can't really see the whole
That
battlefield.
looks miserable.
But you can tell people where to go. You can queue up commands. There's stuff I like about the tactical view, but just the camera really makes me not want to use it. Which I think is kind of a bummer. But I do think the combat is serviceable. Like you can play it very much where if you just want to have, you're just kind of controlling your person, everyone else just uses AI. That's fine. You can kind of get away with that. Occasionally switch to somebody else and have them do something. But it's not quite. It doesn't feel as good as I want it to on the PC. Like I said, it's serviceable and you get used to it, but especially if you were to switch back to like 1 or even 2, like you just notice like it's just so much easier. Another thing is you cannot whenever you click on something, your character doesn't automatically run to it and pick it up. You actually have to manually walk over and pick it up. Right? Yeah. Again, something that on a console with a controller makes sense, but when you're just here and I'm just like, oh hey, I want to grab a potion. I click on it and I'm like, why aren't I going to that potion? So you have to manually use the ASW, go up to it, and then do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, guys. You had this shit figured out 5 years ago.
Why did that get worse?
Because they designed it for a controller. That's why. Okay, we're gonna get to the hinterlands. We're gonna actually show off the stuff I want to show off. The Storm Coast has been not as exciting as I wanted.
There's nothing to murder.
There's nothing to murder. I murdered everything. I apologize. I didn't anticipate that.
Do enemies not respawn?
I think there's little enemies that kind of occasionally show up in the world, but the kind of the big, I kind of did all the story beats in that area. I'll do the hinterlands view. And at any point you can fast travel to these different camps you unlock. So this is the hinterlands. It's freaking huge. Where can I head? We're gonna head to the crossroads, kind of show it off a bit. And we're gonna make our way to Red Cliff, which is the first big story beat we're gonna do. We're gonna show off a little bit of that. And this is the first story beat that actually it's getting real interesting. I'm like, okay, some stuff's happening. Because before I've just been
Shit gets real.
wandering around and people have been like, can you take these flowers and put it on my wife's grave? And I'm like, yeah, sure. All right, I'll wander around.
I guess. Sky opened up, demons are pouring out, but yeah, I can put flowers.
You need
on
10
my
blankets? I can loot stuff to find those.
But what? I mean, whatever, we're just going through an apocalypse right now. But no, your blankets are important.
Dun dun dun. Man, I didn't think the loading times were that long.
And
now that I'm actually paying attention to them, I realize how long they are. But they're not the worst. They're not. It's not Destiny level bad.
Yeah.
Or anything. Before, I guess I just looked at my phone or something. I was just kind of like.
You were distracted now that you were like, oh, this is a lot of dead air.
Yeah. Whew. They were recording.
Oh God.
Hey. Loadings. All right. So this is the hinterlands, which is, like I said, the first big area of the game.
They're not as bad as my PC version of Advanced Warfare, where every time I try to load a single player level, or then adjust any video settings, and it reloads the entire level. That's a lot of me just sitting there for 10 minutes looking at my phone.
Ow, that sounds horrible.
They're pretty. I don't know if it's my PC.
I have a horse in this game. You can summon at any point, and this is this weird undead horse with a sword. I think because I pre-ordered it, I got him.
Oh.
Get on the horse. I think the horse isn't that fast. This is the horse speed.
I heard that the mounts are not that much faster than just walking.
It kind of can sprint, which is like a little bit faster, but like I just find myself talking. Also, when you're on your mount, your party members disappear, and I'd rather just walk because at least then maybe my party members will talk and I'll get some dialogue.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's not that much faster, so I kind of don't bother with them. Here's a random Templar dude.
Oh, cool. Except for me. Kill him.
So I'm a nice mage. That's kind of my ice powers.
Do you really specify your powers that much?
You absolutely can. Here, if I...
Because I know in my mage in Origins right now, I put all this stuff into like primal abilities, which are your fire attacks, your ice attacks, your electrical attacks. But I'm kind of doing a...
So right now I have 4 different trees. Apparently more open up later in the game.
Oh, cool, okay.
For the story, it's not just locked to these 4. I was kind of like, what? Only 4? You got your spirit, which is very, like healing and that kind of stuff. There is no heal spell in this game. There is a revival spell.
If they get knocked down?
Yeah, but there is no heal spell. You can only rely on the potions, and you only have the 8. So the game is very potion resource management kind of. You got your storm spells, which is, and then you got your fire and you got your ice. I'm focusing on ice. And I like ice, especially because I have this one ability where anytime if I'm near an enemy who is frozen or I'm near this ice wall I made, I automatically get the benefits of it. So here, if I do this blizzard storm, you see now I have these icicles around me. That means I have extra layer of protection on me. So I take less damage.
Is there still friendly fire in Magic?
There is, but you have to turn it on. I have it turned off because I didn't really want to deal with that, but if you want to be that hardcore person who can turn that on...
I just thought that concept was cool in Origins.
I think it is cool, and you can turn that on if you want to. Was that in 2?
I
They
never
take it
played
out?
2.
I don't remember.
Now, your opinion of 2 is kind of against the grain, right? You don't mind 2, if I remember correctly.
I don't mind 2. I mean,
I know that a lot of people on the internet talk about it as if it's like an affront to God.
I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with people's problems with 2. Like, I don't think 2 is a good game, and I think, especially not a good sequel to Dragon Age Origins, absolutely not. But I don't hate Dragon Age 2 the way some people do. There are things I like about it. I like the characters. While I think the story didn't fully work, I liked what they tried to do with it. And I actually do like the change in art style, even if graphically it was rather poor. So yeah, 2's okay. I don't mind 2. 2's a fun game. Play that game as Sarcastic Hawk. You'll have a good time. Sarcastic Hawk, keep Eric in your party.
It'll be okay.
Yeah.
Just plow through it.
It's got good characters. Okay, so we are gonna head to Redcliffe. PC version does have an auto-run button. So that's nice. So I can just let go of the mouse and be like,
Just keep on walking.
let it go. So Iron Bull, he has a little shield there. That is a new little thing that your warrior class characters get. They have shield and stuff. I'm not fully sure how that works. Oh god, this game just looks really pretty. Everything just feels more. There's more like shit in the world, Like it's not just like, well, it's a plain field and there's like a tree over there or something.
Origins has. I mean, it's still a great game, but I'm really impatient with it, just in terms of how empty the world feels.
Right about here, so we're about to head to Redcliffe Village, which is a major plot point from the first game. And you're actually going to see the game looks really different. The town, and I don't know how I feel about that. Like on the one hand, I get where it's like we wanted to redesign the town, we wanted to give it.
We can now put things.
We can put things in it, but at the same time, there's something that I like about the nostalgia of seeing the town, and you're like, oh, I remember that, and they have a bit of an excuse where it's like it's 10 years later, and at the end of that game, Redcliffe actually got destroyed off screen by the Darkspawn, so it's kind of like, oh, we rebuilt it, but you're still sort of a little like, oh, kind of, like this definitely doesn't look like Redcliffe.
No.
Yeah, so there's Redcliffe Castle over there. It's obviously way bigger and different looking. This is, like you're just like, this isn't Redcliffe, right? But I don't know, this is their new version of Redcliffe. You kind of just accept it.
I mean, I haven't gone to Redcliffe yet in my Redcliffe.
Redcliffe doesn't look like this. There's not grass everywhere. And And again, it's sort of like this is just they kind of redesigned it this way, and I don't hate it, but I'm a bit disappointed because you want that nostalgia of like, oh, I remember this. I think because that's like I think they imply like a lot of the areas you actually saw.
Or over there.
Or over there
section.
in the destroyed section is kind of what I think they kind of imply that. But again, I'm sort of like, whatever. So we're here to talk with the mages. We went to Val Royeaux to try and like get some people, and then the Templars were sort of like, hey, fuck the Chantry. And then the first Enchanter Fiona, who's the head of the Mage Rebellion, came to us and said, yo, you should come to Redcliffe where all the mages are chilling, and talk with us, and we can make a deal. So we're coming here to talk to her.
What was that?
This little landmark you can put. It just kind of landmarks areas. Little quest for them. This was a statue honoring the hero Ferelden. This is just a guess. I assume this is here because I saved Redcliffe Village, and if you don't save Redcliffe Village in the game, probably isn't here. That is my guess, because specifically, you notice it's like the undead.
Yeah.
I think this statue is specifically about how like we saved the town from all those undead zombies from the first game.
Yeah, remembering that.
So I think the statue isn't here if you didn't do that.
Could you not save Redcliffe?
Oh yeah, you could tell them to fuck off and not save them. Let them burn and then go to the castle. You can totally do that. I don't know anyone who actually did do that because why would you be a monster like that? All right, she's in the tavern. Oh, okay.
All those low times, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh, you get some little cards you read. Some
nice.
wolves. Yeah, generate guard on themselves or their allies, characters. Okay, interesting.
Now it's gone.
Now it's
I
gone.
hope you enjoyed reading that.
God damn it.
Because, yeah.
Woo! Loading times. All right.
Now, is this just your computer, or is it just the game itself?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
That's where I'm at, because I've just upgraded my entire PC, so now when I'm playing Far Cry 4 Call of Duty, I'm just like, is this
Welcome,
my
agents
computer,
of the
or is the game
Inquisition.
just really horribly optimized?
All right, so that's Fiona. That's the first enchanter.
What has brought you to Redcliffe?
Okay, so she doesn't really. I mean, she invited me here.
Yeah.
So.
You did?
We're here because of your invitation back in Val Royeaux.
You must be mistaken.
Twist.
I haven't been to Val Royeaux since before the Conclave.
Okay, so she's lying because I met her there. I don't.
Unless it was an imposter.
Ooh, plot twist.
Then who did I meet?
Then who did I meet?
If it wasn't you who invited me here, who was it?
I don't know. Now that you say it, I feel strange. Whoever or whatever brought you here, the situation has changed. The free mages have already pledged themselves to the service of the Tevinter Imperium.
Oh shit.
This right here is why you can't trust mages.
That's Freddie Prinze Jr.?
Yes.
I'm trying to
Damn.
think of a single worse thing you could have done, and I've got nothing.
As
So
one
for those who
indentured
don't know, the
majesty,
Tevinter mages
I no longer have the authority to
live up in the
negotiate.
northern section of the world, and they're a bunch of assholes. Like they run the Tevinter Imperium is entirely run by mages who are just like. The reason why the Templars
Don't like mages.
trust mages
They're
is
the
largely because the Tevinter Imperium once controlled the entire world, and it's entirely run by mages who just do whatever the fuck they want.
So they're the Slytherins of the Dragon Age universe.
Pretty much. And no one really, and they've slowly lost their power. They don't have the empire they once had, and they have like a war with the Qunari right now. And right now, like the lower areas of the southern world, like Ferelden and Orlais, don't like Tevinter at all. They don't like each other, but they don't like Tevinter more.
Why would you join them then?
That's a really good question. Let's find out.
The Divine's corpse is barely cold, and you've already joined the Imperium?
Most of Thedas blames us for the Divine's death. The Templar attacks grew worse, and we mages had no allies. Either my people made
So this
a
feels,
last stand
this is
here in
weird
Red
because
Cliff,
I met her
or
in
took the
Val
only offer
Royale.
of
Yeah.
help
And at that point, it
extended
was
to
like
us.
a couple weeks after.
I had
And she's
to
like, hey,
save
what's up? I'm here.
I had no other choice.
She was kind of like, I think the Templars might have had something to do with it. Like she
Welcome,
was.
my friends. I
This is
apologize
like
for
she's
not
telling me a
waking you
completely different
earlier.
story than what she told me before.
Agents of the Inquisition, allow me to introduce Magister Girion Alexi.
That just looks like a dude you
The
don't want to
Southern mages
make
are
business
under
with,
my
right?
Your
command.
hat is stupid, and I hate you.
And you
Your
are the
face kind of
survivor.
looks like
Yes.
Emperor
One from
Palpatine.
the faith.
But you know what? From my character's my pro mage should rule the earth perspective, I think can you side with them?
The Tevinter?
The Imperium? Do you think that's a plot that you can take?
I don't know.
I think I'm gonna go that way. Because I'm playing my elf right now, and Origins going like, well, we're the best.
Probably not because
Left.
you wouldn't want to deal with the Tevinter just because. Okay, yeah. So the Arl apparently is left. That's not good. I think the Arl current Arl is Tegan Ban Tegan. Breaking down the Dragon Age lore. Hey, I need mages.
I'm here to get mages.
All right, so I'm gonna play
to close the
diplomatic.
breach.
Like, all right, well, if you're the new guy, fuck it, I'll just deal with you. All I care about is mages right now. I just need the mages.
Keep me all pages.
Felix, would you send for a scribe, please? Pardon my manners. My son Felix.
I said this off screen. I don't know if I said it when we were recording. I love playing
you're here. Containing the breach is
Quinari
not a feat
because
that
you're
many could even
just way
attempt.
taller than everybody else.
There is no telling
It's
how
one thing I
many
really
mages
like.
would be
Just in all the
needed
cutscenes,
to endeavor
you are just
ambitious.
significantly bigger than everyone. And I've had a lot of people point out that I'm a Quinari.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess there's something I forgot to mention. Specifically, at the beginning when that lady tried to, there's like you're in the Fade and there was like that weird white-figured lady.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that's Andraste, who is sort of like she's like the Jesus of the Mass Effect universe, or not Mass Effect, the Dragon Age universe.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think Andraste herself was the one who saved you. So people are calling you the Herald of Andraste,
Okay.
and which creates a lot of bad stuff because some people are like, "You're the Herald." And I don't like you, and it's even worse because people are like, dude, a fucking Quinari can't be the Herald of Andraste. That's heresy. So it's even worse because I'm a Quinari, which I love. I'll take whoever you
I'll
got.
take every
Please,
name you
anything.
give me.
So you kind of actually get to choose how you react to that. So you can kind of be like, hell yeah, I'm the Herald. I kind of play the like, hey, I'm not saying I'm the Herald. I don't give a shit about any of that. I just want to stop this fucking breach thing.
Felix, I'm so sorry. Please forgive my clumsiness, my
I
lady.
have no idea what's happening in
Are
this
you
scenario. This is
alright?
bizarre.
I'm
Because you
fine.
talked to her and she was like, hey, let's talk. And now she's like, I don't
Yeah,
know
and
who the
she's
hell
like,
you are.
I don't want to talk, and there's this magister here, and then there's his son, and his son is sick or something.
Magic
and
imposter.
fucking, I don't know,
Fiona, I
man.
require your assistance back at the castle.
I don't mean to trouble everyone.
So he's poisoned, right?
I shall send word to the Inquisition. We will conclude this business at a later
Just
date.
because it's Dragon Age, I assume that everyone is poisoned all the time.
Everyone's trying to murder each other.
That's what I love about Dragon Age. It's just so dark.
Come to the Chantry. You are in danger.
Ah, he faked it. He gave me a warning. Okay, so obviously some shit is going on.
Very mysterious.
There's no telling who or what will be waiting for us in that Chantry.
Only one way to find out.
Okay. Yeah. Some people. I can talk to that guy if I wanted. I'm not gonna. So let's go to the Chantry. Back to loading screens.
Yeah. This
All
is
right.
definitely because I just bought Advanced Warfare. I just bought Far Cry. Well, I was gifted Far Cry 4. I've kind of put off replaying Origins for a little bit.
Yeah.
This is definitely kind of giving me the kick to want to go back and play.
This is giving me that high fantasy
that like
shit I wanted. I'm like, yes. Like,
have that itch.
oh,
Guys,
yeah. Ooh.
guys, getting hot fancy around here just a little bit. See the taste.
And already I'm really enjoying it. I've heard from a lot of people that they're like, oh, like it doesn't even get good yet. Like they're like,
Damn.
A lot of people tell me that they're like, if you're not 100% sold, play up until I want to say it's called, you your heart shall burn, or something like that. There's a quest called Your Heart Shall Burn or something like that. Supposedly that is the quest where it's like shit gets real and it gets badass and like holy fuck. And I'm like, I don't know what's happens in that quest. I can't wait though, because already I'm digging it. So people are like, no, no, no.
I'm so glad
you haven't seen anything
I'm
yet.
so glad they changed the Qunari.
Yeah, they really differentiate
in
them.
Origins, they're just big dudes, and I got really confused. What's the Qunari you meet in the beginning of Sten? I got really confused because he's talking about his species. I'm like, aren't you a dude? Aren't you just a really big guy?
Chantry.
And then, like it took me a really long time to figure out that he was a different species than me.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you tried the multiplayer?
I haven't.
I hear pretty okay things.
Yeah, I heard it's like kind of like Mass Effect multiplayer, which I actually really liked.
Which was really cool.
I actually thought Mass Effect multiplayer was pretty good.
If you're gonna kind of like put multiplayer in Mass Effect or in Dragon Age, I'm glad that it's not like a standard. Fight these dudes, fight another team that's exactly like you. They're doing something different with it.
Now I wonder if it's part of the loading screen is because of our capture equipment running at the same time. Because I just don't remember it ever being this long when I'm playing by myself. I don't remember being like,
Yeah, making excuses. Okay.
Well, I'm wondering if it's like, I just never noticed because I wasn't like trying
I'm
to.
sure like you go on your
trying
phone.
to talk.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
What are those?
Good.
Those are shades. Those are demons.
Now help me close this, would you?
I don't know who this dude is, but I hope he's a party member.
He looks like a party member. Okay, so this is actually perfect. This is a mechanic. You get these little pockets of rifts that kind of pop up, and demons start pouring out. And you have to defeat the demons and bring the Fade Rift meter down, so you can eventually close it, and then the demons will stop coming out.
Okay. Are there darkspawn in this?
I haven't met any darkspawn yet, but I'm hoping to get some. So at any point though, you and only your character can do this. Can go up and start disrupting the rift, and you have to do this without. If you get hit, it automatically cancels it out. If you disrupt it all the way, it actually stuns nearby demons and allows you to kind of get an advantage on them. So it benefits you to want to disrupt it when you can. But sometimes you can't, so like I wouldn't constantly be trying to do that all the time. You kind of have to evaluate the situation. These are these little pockets if you go into it actually like slows you down, so you don't want to try to avoid those. So I've kind of made Blackwall, he's sort of like an ally. He can kind of inspire people and boost them, is kind of how I play him. Iron Bull is just a fucking beast.
He's Iron Bull.
He's just Iron Bull. The Iron Bull, apparently. He likes the article, he said. Which
he likes the.
Yeah. He's like, I want the article in it. I'm going to get this going, because that's going to affect me a lot. He has this chain ability. You can pull them like Scorpion style, Tim. That's cool. I dig that. Okay, alright. So the Fade Rift is now ready to be closed, so I gotta head over here and use my magic hand. Raise that shit up. Dude kind of looks like Freddie Mercury.
He does.
Fascinating. How does that work exactly? You don't even know, do you? You just wiggle your fingers and boom. Rift closes.
Who are you?
Ah, getting ahead of myself again, I see. Dorian of House Parvis, most recently
Okay. Yeah, this guy's definitely going to be a main character.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Watch yourself.
I have a feeling that he's going to be my Alistair.
Suspicious friends.
Think so?
Yeah.
I really like all the characters so far. I have yet to be
So my assistants
like, I just don't want to deal with that guy.
I find myself, no matter how I play Dragon Age Origins, no matter what kind of character I try to be, I find it physically impossible to not be best bros with Alistair. because I should hate him because he used to be a Templar.
Yeah.
But
you the
but
one
every
who
time I'm
said
like,
that
okay,
note
this time
I
I'm gonna
am.
hate him. I'm gonna be mean to
Someone had
him,
to warn
and
you
the second I
after
see him, I'm just like,
You
ah!
can't be mean to Alistair. Alistair's your
There's
bro.
danger.
That's why I
That
fist
should
bump
be
him
obvious
and kill
even without
Darkspawn.
note. Let's start with Alexius claiming the allegiance of the Mage Rebels.
It's like me and Garrus and Rex.
As
and
if
Oh,
by
like,
magic.
just-
Garrus
yeah.
has to be your bro.
Which is
Yeah.
How there's no
exactly
other way to play
To
Mass
reach
Effect.
Redcliffe
much.
Before the Inquisition,
Varric in
Alexius distorted
Dragon Age
time
2
itself.
is your bro. Varric is in my opinion in 2 he's the Garrus of Dragon Age 2.
Okay.
Varric is your bro.
Doesn't Garrus not have a lot to do in Dragon Age 2?
Or Mass Effect 2.
They're about, yeah.
No, but I mean like
in terms of
I mean
like,
like Varric is the equivalent of like a Garrus to me.
Yeah.
Like where I'm like
he's
like,
got
he's-
to be in the party.
Yeah, he's got to be in your party. He's your best bro. He's got your back. He's awesome.
Fist bump, murder some shit.
Okay, he distorted time itself. Oh! Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. What happened? I was.
So apparently, because the Magister apparently showed up 2 days after Divine Justina died
Okay.
and took over Redcliffe. When you're like, well, that's impossible because I met Fiona like a weeks later and she was like, oh, come to Redcliffe. And you're like, so how the fuck did that? Apparently, he fucked around with time to make that happen.
Oh, awesome. Cool.
So there's time travel now.
I hope that's less dangerous than it sounds.
Nothing with time travel has ever been bad.
The rift you closed here.
I think,
You saw how
Dragon Age has
twisted
never dealt with
time
time travel
around
before.
itself.
That's cool. Okay,
Sped some things
I'm
up and
down.
slowed others down.
Fucking time travel.
Soon, there will be more like it, and they'll appear further and further away from Redcliffe. The magic Alexius is using is wildly unstable.
I really hope the game
It's
just
unraveling the world.
delves into like this really complex time travel paradox storyline.
It just becomes primer.
It just becomes primer.
For like an hour.
Control. Go with it.
Okay. If I jumped to this point in time,
helped
my
develop this
past
magic.
self then did
When I was
this.
still his apprentice,
That's one thing I like about Dragon Age,
Alexius
because
could
it's
never get
not,
it to work.
you know, like Saga or
understand
anything.
that's
It
why
doesn't
he's
have like
doing
a
ripping time to
this
shreds just to gain a few hundred
super
lackeys.
overarching plot
didn't
that
do it for the-
has to go for every game.
It's not like Mass Effect where
Took you long
you're
enough.
Shepherd and you're fighting the Reapers. and
Exactly.
you're-
No.
Each
but I
game
shouldn't have
has
played
its own
the
main
honest
plot, but
card.
it also has its
So he'd be
own
fussing over me all
subplots
day.
that it can really get
My father's
into,
doing
and that can
cult.
come, you know, like,
Divinity supremacists.
you know,
They call
when you're doing
themselves
one, you would have the
Venatori.
Mage Templar conflict in the circle
you
with the
one
Yeah,
demons.
that's
and then,
happening,
you know,
but the Darkspawn are kind of like your number one
yeah,
priority.
and then they can use that as to kind of introduce the concept and bring it more into this game, and I like that it kind of can have these extra
I'm
stories.
glad
in
it's
it.
not 3 games of the Darkspawn are back.
Yeah.
Man.
If every game was just about, hey, you're another Grey Warden, you got to stop the Darkspawn.
Not to speak poor of Mass Effect, but like I'm really glad it's not like, oh, again, guys, seriously, the Reapers are coming. Guys, I was right the other 2 times. Guys,
fruit
listen to
basket.
me.
Everyone
The
loves this.
Reapers are coming.
You know you're his
Sure.
Expecting the trap
The
is first
Reapers
step
are
in turning it to your
absolutely, I
advantage.
think, the weakest
They
part
can't
of
stay in
Mass
Redcliffe.
Effect.
Yeah.
Alexius
They're cool in
doesn't know
one.
I'm here.
They're just
Guys, how do you not believe me?
You know what I liked in Mass Effect? I like when you're helping Garrus murder that guy who betrayed him, or you're helping Tali on trial.
Yeah.
I like the random shit like that.
Yeah, the Reapers are by far the least compelling part of the Mass Effect mythos.
Okay, so we did a poor job paying attention. I'm probably gonna like replay this and actually pay attention to what's happening.
Well, I expected you to.
But basically, that kid's dad is a horrible monster, and he's like, we need to stop my dad. He's part of this cult.
I'm sorry.
That's what I picked up.
Who's dad?
Felix. Felix,
Okay.
remember the guy who like faked the injury and gave us the thing?
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, yo, my dad is like part of this crazy cult now that's like obsessed with you, and we need to
Stop him.
stop him. For some reason, he cares about us, so we're gonna have to.
Well, that's nice.
We're gonna
Glad
have to
someone cares
stop
about
him.
us.
Tales of the Frostback. Dun, dun, dun.
Wait, how are you supposed to even read those?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. It's a good question, my friend.
How are those batteries?
I'm just checking on. Yeah, they're fine. They're doing okay. We're doing. You should have plenty of batteries.
Oh, I
am set.
I
You're
am
set.
good. Got 2 whole bars.
Oh yeah. Whole battery bars. All right. Just
Andronic.
Gotta admit, I wasn't expecting to find so many Vints here.
Vince. Oh,
Devinters and blood
Devinters.
mages are like lost socks, or couriers from the Merchant Guild. They turn up in the damnedest places.
I like the dialogue, character dialogue. Varric is a good bridge between two. Like, you actually get to ask him, like, hey, what happened to Hawk? What happened to all the party members? And he'll like actually talk about it. Because the premise is like you read his book about the story, and so you're like, hey, I read your book. Like, tell me more about it. He's like, of course, and that's nice.
Wait, does he like sell out on the story of Dragon Age 2 by writing a book about it?
Oh, he wrote a book about it forever. So what it is, I mean, the reason why is because he's a storyteller. He writes books. So he wrote a book about what happened in Dragon Age in 2, but he obviously embellished parts of it.
Yeah.
And then Cassandra came to him and said, hey, I've read the book. That was bullshit. Tell me what really happened. And then he's like, okay, here's what really happened. And it turns out like most of the things in the book were actually true, and it was just so ridiculous that he was like, she's like, man, that really happened? He's like, yeah, that really happened. There's this cool little thing, I almost missed it even. You talk to this person. This is Connor. He is the kid
from
Dragon Age Origins that if you save,
I think I murdered his ass.
So yeah, so if you murdered him, he won't be here, and you won't get this dialogue.
God, that was just a bad situation.
And you know what? They address that where you can be like, hey, tell me what happened, and he's like, because he went to the Circle, and he had to come back here because after the Circle dissolved, the mages all came back here. He hates being here because he's like, all these people. He's like, I just feel awful being here because I murdered, like, I caused like so many people's deaths.
Yeah.
He like, no one wants me to be here. I don't want to be here. He feels so uncomfortable being here. That's kind of cool. Like, that's a cool, interesting. It's like a small dialogue thing. It's not that great in the grand scheme of things, but
I think that because I killed the mages by accident, I think he had to die or the mom had to die. I can't remember.
There was nowhere else to go.
It's either the mom or him. I always kill the mom. That's how I do it.
Is there a way to get out of it where everyone lives?
Yes, and that is to go to the Circle.
If you don't fuck up the Circle and you don't accidentally murder everyone
you can
inside.
bring the mages and you can do it that way. There's also an option where you can have him get possessed by the demon.
Yeah.
But like no one. Like, it's like there's a way you can make a deal with the demon.
That's how you get blood magic in 1.
Yeah.
Because I had to look that up because going through, I'm like, I want to go hardcore mage, I want blood magic. I had to look up how to get it.
It's like you have to be the one to go in though and do it.
It's like a lust.
Yeah, you have to be a mage and you have to it's real specific in order to get that option.
But if you want blood magic, that's how you do it.
So I just thought that was a little cool. Like, oh, okay, like there's this character and you can ask him about stuff and you're kind of getting this reaction. Because it's like 10 years later, so he's like an adult now. It's cool. I like that stuff.
We have to find a way to make peace.
All right, so we're gonna. Actually, wrong thing. I apologize.
He sounds like a calm, rational human being. I don't like him.
We're gonna head back to Haven. We're gonna make our decision about what we're gonna do with the mages. There's a little bit more stuff we're gonna do, and then we're gonna stop. We're making good time. We're about an hour, a little over an hour in.
That's not bad.
I mean, this game is real
long.
Real dense. Whew. Like I said, I'm so not even that far.
This is that's my hardest part about getting back into Dragon Age. That's a game that you have to commit. You can't go, I'm just gonna play like 20 minutes of Dragon Age. Just pop in, do some stuff. Do you have an afternoon where you're not doing anything?
I wasted a good 30 minutes just talking to my party members.
Yeah, like are you prepared to not do anything tonight?
Clicking all the dialogue options on the investigate because I have to click them all. I have to hear everything because I'm that kind of person. Loading times.
Get a better PC, John Luke. God.
I'm sorry.
How is your PC?
That's pretty good. It's
I never really looked at it.
2 years old. Looks like a Stormtrooper.
Does look like a Stormtrooper.
Okay, we're gonna head to the war room, and there's a little mechanic there we can show off. That's fun.
The what? The war room?
The war room.
Okay.
It's a place called the war room. What's up, Varric?
Bro.
My bro.
Fist
My bro,
bump.
Varric. And he, it made me sad. There's this little dialogue where he's talking about Cassandra, and Cassandra mentioned something about how we need to, like, find these people. And Varric's like, oh, that shouldn't be a problem for you because that's your job seeker to find people. He's like, oh, wait, you tried finding Hawk and you couldn't. And he feels like really bitter about it. I'm like, I think Varric misses his bro Hawk. And I'm like, oh.
Please find Hawk.
In my game, like, me and Varric were like best bros. Right, we're gonna summon the War Council, which I like the idea of summoning the War Council.
Yes.
If I'm ever at a point in life where I can summon a War Council.
You know you made it when you summoned a War Council.
Absolutely. All right, so this is kind of the big map. Like I said, the game takes place in Ferelden and Orlais. Go to Ferelden here.
We'll post soldiers.
These are the areas I have unlocked so far, which is the Storm Coast you saw, the hinterlands. There's kind of this swampy area, which I said I couldn't really explore yet. So these two areas are kind of main quest stuff. There's this one, which is the mages thing. We're going to go back and we're going to deal with the mages. Then there's also this over here, which is we're going to go side with the Templars.
Okay, so you can either pick one or the other.
Yes, it locks you in.
Okay.
And so you're getting two completely different quests. Which I'm not going to play this game a second time right away, but I'll probably eventually play it, and I want to see all that different stuff, so that'll be cool. Orlais here, there's other stuff. I think that knife means I completed that quest, because I already did that when I click on that.
Okay.
Over here, there's this area you can go check out. It's actually like this desert. Like they really like break out all the different regions. You're like, oh, here's the desert, here's the forest, and here's the mountains, and here's the storm. So you got these this little mini stuff here. And what you do is you click on these, and you can pick who you want to send to this. This one actually I can only send. You have these 3 people. You have Josephine, who's your liaison connections. You have Liliana, who's your spy master, and you have Cullen, who is your commander of all your army. And Cullen's he's from the first 2 games as well. He was a Templar. He's the Templar in Origins who's like, you need to kill all the mages, and he's and then he's in 2 as well, and he's actually changed his opinion. Like they talk about that, and that's kind of interesting. So these are these little mini missions you can do, and doing them will get you like, money or like some cool items and stuff. And you're not actually doing them; you just send a person to go do them, and there's a time slot for it.
Okay.
And it's kind of like the stuff in the Assassin's Creed
I was
games.
gonna say, like the caravan, like send this ship to this location and trade.
So, and it takes real world time, and it continues even when you have the game off. So
Okay,
you could
that's cool.
So it's always a good idea, like right before you like turn the game off, just like.
The question is,
click a couple
is there
of
a
these.
companion app?
I don't think so.
Let us begin.
That's disappointing.
I don't really care.
So a game unless it has a companion app. John.
So it's gonna take 22 minutes. I can't tell her to do other stuff. There's actually one I already did. Here we go. So let's say we'll do this one. So I can't have her do it because she's on another one. I can have Liliana do it. And if you notice, there actually is a difference in time, like depending on who you send. So Josephina would have been the one I want to send because it actually taken her 45 minutes, while it'll take Liliana like a full hour to do it. I'm going to send Cullen to do this one because it'll take him a little bit less time than Liliana. Let's send, again, Liliana's probably the worst one, but I'll just send her to do it because why not?
Do they level up? Do they get any new abilities, or do they?
No.
They're just which one you pick.
Yeah.
Does sending a different one have a different outcome?
I don't think so. I'm not really sure. It doesn't seem that way. I think it purely is just the time thing. Another thing is, from here you can also get your perks. And these are kind of these overarching perks you get. You have a limited number of them you get, so you kind of want to think wisely when you pick them. So for example, under Forces I picked Underground Knowledge, which gives me new dialogue options, and 50% XP for each codec entry unlocked. There's a bunch of stuff like, this one increases my max focus by like an extra 100 points. You go to Secrets with Liliana, 50% XP for each codec entry, 10% chance to get extra herbs from harvesting stuff. There's a lot of shit here, and I find myself like really like, kind of like, I don't want to immediately pick them because I'm trying to because you kind of get locked into them.
Yeah.
So you're like, I want to like make sure I'm not fucking this up because I don't know how many perks you get, but obviously not enough to get all
You want to be
of them.
smart about it.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of have to pick your battles. Like I got this one that like increased my inventory by 15. So I'm like, that's definitely something I want. You know,
Yeah,
I want
that pays off.
So that stuff's cool. So we're going to pick the mage one because I'm a mage. I support mages.
Damn straight.
I want to know what's up with this Tevinter shit in
Don't
the
have
time
the
travel.
manpower to take the castle. Either we find another way in, or give up this nonsense and go and get the Templars.
Redcliffe is in the hands of a Magister. This cannot be allowed to stand.
The letter from Alexius asked for the Herald of Andraste by name. It's an
That's me.
obvious trap.
We can't waste time fighting among ourselves. We have to come to an
Yeah, like
agreement.
just how taller I am than everyone else, right? These humans and their human stuff.
Oh, you humans.
Some of us want to
You're
do nothing.
adorable.
Not this again.
Redcliffe Castle is one of the most defensible fortresses in Ferelden. It has repelled thousands of assaults. If you go in there, you'll die. And we'll lose the only means we have of closing these rifts. I won't allow it.
And if we don't even try to meet Alexius, we lose the mages and leave a
I kind of like this where you get your party members
Even if
sort
we
of
could
bicker
assault the
amongst
keep,
each other
it would
about
be
what
for
to do,
naught.
and they actually can
An Orlesian
like
Inquisition
they both make
army
good points.
marching
So
in
it's almost
Ferelden
like
would
the
provoke
game's
the
giving
war.
you like a chance to like
hands are
fully
tied.
understand your options and be
The
like, hey,
Magister-
like you know,
Yeah, like I was
Which one do you wanna
saying,
pick?
That's what I really like about Dragon Age is there's no red option, blue option. It's what one do you want to do?
yeah, and like I think they both make convincing arguments. But I'm going to so at this point I could just say like, actually I changed my mind. I'm gonna
Can't
commit
just
to
give
the
up.
mage
There
plot.
has to be something we can do.
We cannot accept defeat now. There must be a solution.
What about the Arl?
Where's the Arl of Redcliffe? I'm sure he'd help us get his castle back.
After he was displaced, Arl Tegan rode straight for Dunnerin to petition the crown for help. I doubt he'll want our assistance once the Ferelden army lays siege to his castle. Wait. There is a secret passage into the castle, an escape route for the family. It's too narrow for our troops, but we could send agents through.
Too risky. Those agents will be discovered well before they reach the Magister.
That's why we need a distraction. Perhaps the envoy Alexius wants so badly.
Keep attention on Adar, while we disable the Magister's defenses.
Adar is
gamble,
me,
but it
by the
will
way.
help.
That is my every
Fortunately,
different race you
you'll
get
have
a.
help.
Oh, look at him. You get
This man
a
says he
last
has
name
information
that
about
you
the
have,
Magister
and so
and his methods,
my
Your
last name
Honor.
is Adar. Is the Qunari name, which apparently means warrior.
Okay.
According
Doesn't
Spies will
doesn't
never
make a lot of
get
sense,
past
does it, mate?
Alexius'
Or no, I
magic
think it
without
means
my help.
sword. Maybe
So
I
if
don't
you're
know.
going
Warrior
out,
or sword.
I'm coming along.
That's what Iron Bull
plan puts
said.
you in the
Iron Bull's
most
like, I like your last name.
We can't in good conscience order you to do this.
You get some good dialogue with
Still
him
go
because
after
you're
the
Qunari.
Templars if you'd rather not play the bait. It's up to you.
Okay, so I've been given my options. We're gonna do it. We're gonna go fucking deal with these magisters and their bullshit. Who should I bring?
Who you take?
Well, I have to bring
bring-
Freddie Mercury guy with me. Dorian.
I would
He's
bring-
definitely a party member.
I would bring Varric again.
Okay, Varric. Okay, so I got a mage. So I already have 2 mages. I definitely need to bring a warrior.
I would just bring Boldy again.
Iron Bull.
The Iron Bull.
The Iron Bull. This is Iron Bull, but yeah, I like the Iron Bull. Okay, let's do it. Yep. Loading screen. Come on.
You can do it, buddy.
We believe in you.
You can do it, little guy.
I just don't know what to talk about anymore. Anything else you want to know about this game?
I'm pretty much sold. There's not much really left to say.
Well, yeah, we're just gonna finish this up and then we'll.
Yeah.
I like my outfit, by the way.
Do you have a lot of customization when it comes to your
Announce
outfit?
us.
It definitely seems like a good variety. Not necessarily like.
Does your equipment change around?
Yeah, but you can't like color swap or anything like that. Yeah, they go where I go.
Where I go, they go.
What, you're gonna tell that guy that no? You're gonna tell the dude with the eye patch and the horns?
You stay outside, please.
Hey, do you think you could stay outside?
Can we have your battle axe, please?
The dwarf with the crossbow. Bianca. Yeah, this doesn't look evil at all.
They're fine. What about those face masks look evil?
My Lord Magister, the agents of the Inquisition have arrived.
My friend,
Stupid
it's
hat.
so good to see you again.
Real, yeah.
That's my biggest
And
issue with
your
playing as
associates,
a mage in Origins, that all of your
I'm sure we
equipment
can work
looks
out
so
some arrangements
stupid.
that
The hats in this game all look awful, by the way.
Yeah, no, like every time I get a hat
Are we
in Origins, I'm like,
mages to
oh,
have no
I guess I'll wear this.
The game lets you turn them off, and I've turned them off.
Good.
My characters are all wearing dumb hats, but you can't see them, because you don't want to see them.
Yeah. Do I look like I should be helping Santa?
Should I... I'm gonna try and play it, like, let's get to
Enough
business.
pleasantries.
Yeah, let's get that.
Shall we begin?
I'm down to
Refreshing to meet someone so
straight to business.
goal-oriented.
goal-oriented.
The Inquisition needs mages to close the breach, and I have them. So, what shall you offer in exchange?
Okay,
Nothing.
think I should just, like... Yeah, nothing? I'm feeling the nothing.
Yeah, I'm feeling nothing too. Like, give me your mages.
Nothing at all.
You time
I'm
traveling
just going
dick.
to take the mages and leave.
I'm just gonna take them and
How do you
leave.
imagine you'll accomplish such a feat?
She knows everything, Father.
Felix, what have you done?
The trap has already failed.
We made sure to disarm your trap
Iron
before
Bull
we came in.
approves.
I hope you don't
Slightly.
mind.
Yeah, slightly
I've
improved.
yet to see your cleverness, I'm afraid. You walk into
It
my
says they
storeroom
improved, but
with your
there,
stolen
I
mark
don't
and you
see,
don't
like in
even
mass
understand
in the
it.
other games, there's no meter that says like,
Yeah.
they're up this much percent. It's almost more, like,
More fluid, like they like you a little bit more.
kind of like Telltale, when Telltale's like, they'll remember that, like, he
Yeah.
approves. Where? Okay, so this guy seems to know some shit about me. What is the mark? Tell me what the mark is. I don't know what this
You
fucking
know
mark
so
is.
much. Enlighten me. Tell me what this mark on my hand is for.
It belongs to your betters. You wouldn't even begin to understand its purpose.
Father, listen to yourself. Do you know what you sound like?
He sounds exactly like the sort of villainous cliche everyone expects us to be.
Dorian, I gave you a chance to be a part of this. You turned me down. The Elder One has power you would not believe. He will raise the Imperium from its own ashes.
Who's the Elder One?
Yeah.
That's who you serve. The one who killed
Okay, so the
Divine.
Elder One is the one who like
Is he a
murdered
mage?
the Divine.
Soon
Because there's somebody
he will
somebody
become
did this. We're trying
Yeah.
to figure out who it is.
He
It's
will
the
make
Elder
the world
Apparently-
bow
apparently it's the
wages
Elder One.
once more.
It sounds like somebody you don't want to mess with.
From the Boric Ocean
Elder
to the
One.
frozen seas.
You can't involve my people in this.
Alexius, this is exactly what you and I talked about never wanting to happen. Why would you support this?
Stop it, Father. Give up the Venatori. Let the
Do you think
Southern
he's
mages
just
fight
like-
the breach, and let's go
He's
home.
possessed by a demon?
No.
Or
It's the only
Thinks
way,
he's a
Felix.
dick.
He can save.
Oh, classic.
Save
Betray your
me.
morals to save your dying son.
There is a
Classic
way.
storyline.
The Elder One promised if I undo the mistake at the temple.
I'm going to die. You need to accept that.
Seize them, Venatori. The Elder One demands this woman's life.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. Oh, Liliana.
Your men are dead, Alexius.
You are a mistake. You should never have existed.
Okay then. Send us to a loading screen.
He was so powerful.
Oh.
He made us load the game.
Oh, the darkest of all magics.
Blood of the Elder One. Where'd they come from?
Oh, okay. Oh shit, it's just me and Dorian. All right. That's kind of bad to have two mages.
Double magical?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with a little double mage action.
One thing I do like, if I go to the tactical menu, it does. See, look how I cannot zoom the camera any far out.
Really? That's horrendous. Oh.
Right? It says stuff like he is shocked, he is chilled, and it gives you like, here's how much health exactly he has. Here's what
That's cool. That's
powers
nice.
at. So that's nice. Oh, another thing, terrible on the PC. When you mouse over the menu, it just tells you what the name of the spell is. It doesn't actually give you its full
no
stats.
description? Oh.
Which the other ones had. And if you want the full
You're
description,
killing me.
you have to go into the thing and like
That's
click on it to look at
ridiculous.
it, and you're like, that's like I have to like go to like, okay, well, I wanted to look at what Blizzard does, and okay, here's what the ice armor does. It says this. It should just say on the thing. That kills me. There's actually been a lot of people complaining about me. It was like a thread or something I saw that people were complaining, and they have said that they are looking to address some of the issues. So hopefully
they fix it.
They patch some of that stuff in, because some of that stuff's just like unacceptable, in my opinion, as a PC person.
Especially when they did it before.
The last thing I remember, we were
That's
in the
really
castle
what kills
hall.
it, is like, you guys did this before.
If we're still in the castle, it isn't.
Oh, of course, it's not simply where, it's when.
Oh man, we time traveled.
Alexius used the amulet.
Oh, I love this.
It moved us
I
through
told ya. Time travel plot. What?
What?
Huh?
This is like kind of confused. This is like alarmingly.
What the fuck?
This doesn't sound good. We go back.
I really wish that every single one was just like a further state of confusion. Like, is this even possible? What? How
Like
far?
one question mark, 2 question marks, and then like 4 question marks. What?
Do we go forward in time or back? And how far?
Time travel.
Those are excellent questions. We'll have to find out, won't we? Let's look around, see where the rift took us. Then we can figure out how to get back. If we can.
All right. I hope you know what you're doing, dude.
Back, I hope.
I have some thoughts on that. They're lovely thoughts. Like little jewels.
Okay. I think that's actually probably a good point to stop.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil any more of this.
We've been going pretty far.
This fantastic plot. So that was Dragon Age.
Yeah, I like this game.
I am digging it.
Me too. I want to play more.
You should play more. I'm gonna go play more Dragon Age Origins and then probably play through 2. I probably should.
Yeah, you should.
And then 5 years from now, when I'm done with everything else, I'll finally get to this game.
Yeah, this game's great. Pick it up. Pick it up again. Hopefully they'll address some of the PC problems, but if you don't mind playing on a controller, you can totally do that.
Yeah.
And it works fine.
We're at a keyboard and mouse right here.
I tried switching to the controller, and I agree that it makes more sense, but I like the mouse and keyboard too. I'm too used to it.
Yeah.
I played those other games with mouse and keyboard. I have to stick with it. All right, man. See you later.
See ya.